Hello Scorpio, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we're going to look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you're a cross-watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Scorpio, let's jump on in. We're going to look at the overall energy for this connection with oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. So let's start with the overall energy for your side of this connection, Scorpio, to the person you're dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. Drama. Know your worth. Interesting. Okay. Hang on. I want one more because I think I know where this is going, but I want to make sure. Yeah, because there's separation. So this is a connection that I feel you are currently in separation with, but I feel like before that, with this drama card, I feel like this connection had a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And it feels like there were times where it made you feel like you were on top of the world, and then there were times where it just made you feel, and maybe even right now in this separation, just really, really not good. You know, like I said, lots of highs and lots of lows. And I feel like when, things were good, they were good, but when things were bad, they were really bad. And that has you, like the bad times really have you questioning your worth, especially in regard to like this person. Like I don't necessarily, because there's a lot of inconsistency. So it's like when this person is present and when they're there and when you feel supported and loved, it's like you feel really good, right? But then when there's the absence of that, I feel like it has you really second guessing yourself. Like, why am I not enough? Things of that nature, especially if the separation wasn't completely like your choice. Like if they walked away or if you felt like you had to walk away because of their actions. This person's energy toward you, Scorpio. More. Romance with manipulation. Passion. So this is kind of like love bomby kind of energy. It's like this person knows all of the right things to do and to say to like get back on like your good side almost, or like to make you believe that things are going to be different. But then, even if there's apologies, right? Because an apology without change behavior is manipulation. So I don't know. I don't necessarily know what's going on with this person. I feel like it's obvious that they have feelings for you. Seeing the romance and seeing the passion here, but I feel like this inconsistent energy that I'm getting from them is something that has just kind of really put you through a lot. Is there anything else here that we're needing to know for overall energy? Oh, yeah, definitely. Contract. So I also feel like this person has, it's like they prioritize you sometimes, but not consistently and not all the times. It's like they have other obligations or other priorities that they have a tendency to put ahead of you. I feel like during those times, that's when you start to feel really not so good. Like that's when you kind of experience those lows in the connection. So I don't know what's going on here. Truth of the connection between Scorpio and this person. Redacted. So there are things about this connection that I feel like you're needing to know that haven't been fully revealed yet, or that you're not able to see clearly. And then there's ego. I feel like ego played a big role in why this connection is in separation. Anything else here? So there's a lot going on here. There's definitely a lot that's really complicated. Then you have this connection. I feel like you guys do have like a deep connection here, which is why I feel this person is really good at like saying the right things and doing all the right things, is because I do feel like they know you pretty well. I'm not saying this person's a bad person or that they're just like out to be manipulative, but I don't know. There is definitely something going on with their energy that's kind of just like, like that's not, I mean, anytime I see the manipulation card, I'm always just kind of like, a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, Scorpio. Overall theme of this reading. Inconsistencies. I mean, I could have told you that. We knew that. Inconsistencies specifically with commitment, I feel like. And that's the roller coaster I'm feeling. It's like when they are, present and in the connection and, giving you the attention, the time, the energy that you deserve, it's like it feels so good. And I feel like that's why it's so hard when you don't have that, because then it's just like, it's like the complete opposite feeling. It's like they give you all of this love and energy, and then they take it away. Did one turn around? No, I don't think so. What else here? Unlocked potentials. And then pride keeps us apart. I said ego. Pride and ego kind of being interchangeable here. It's like that's what's playing a role in the separation. Then you have unlocked potential. So there is a lot of potential in this connection. And I do feel like you see that. And I feel like you specifically feel that during those times where, again, this person is there and they're present and, they're being what it is that you deserve. But that's such an inconsistent energy that's what's concerning here. That's what I'm not. But like, why? Why so inconsistent? Where is that stemming from? Which I feel like is part of what you're wondering too, is for the higher good here on the bottom. So I feel like this connection is definitely happening for the highest good, but in a way that might be unexpected. Like I feel like it's sometimes some of the hardest connections come into our life and make us feel like not so good, to teach us our value and to teach us our worth. To teach us we're deserving of more, things of that nature. So I don't know. I feel like there is a deeper purpose for this. I don't really know where this is going. So let's just see. Scorpio's side of this, know your worth with drama. Death of the Hangman in reverse. It's like, I'm going to read this death card as like in a very, like a very literal sense, because it feels like this connection, it's like has killed you over and over again. And I don't mean that, I feel like that can sound really dramatic, but I feel like it just puts you in this place of just feeling so horrible sometimes. But then again, I feel like on the flip side, it also puts you in this place of feeling like so good, like the complete opposite of that, that it's hard for you to let go of that potential and to figure out, you know, why things weren't able to progress to that potential, especially if you were really showing up in this, you know, in the best way that you could, like giving it your all. Queen of Wands, you could be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but I also see this as your energy. It's like, it's almost like this connection brings out your fiery side in a way. But I also feel that what this is really talking about is kind of the intensity that you feel for this connection. It's like it goes below the surface, and that intensity can make things, and I know that I keep saying this, but it can make things feel like the best you've ever felt, and that same intensity can be taken in a negative way. But I feel like no matter what, whether it's the high or the low, I feel like the passion still really remains here. It's like the draw, there's still a draw toward this connection, like even if you don't want there to be. I feel like this connection has brought up a lot of your insecurities, because again, there's like this second guessing. Why wasn't I good enough? Why doesn't this person choose me? Why doesn't this person commit? Why don't they do these things? You know, why don't they do the things that could make this connection work? Like, why can't they see that I'm deserving of that I'm worthy of that? And those questions, you know, are understandable for sure. I think that a lot of the times when people don't choose us, it's really natural to go, why won't you choose me? But we also have to remember that other people's actions do have very little to do with us, and a lot more to do with them. But when that's the case, we have to kind of step back and ask ourselves the question, why am I allowing my worth to be determined by whether or not this person sees it? Because that's where we start to access deeper healing. Because I feel like, you know, this person has made you feel almost like not good enough in a way because of their actions and of their behavior. And it's not fair of you to question your worth or your value because somebody else isn't capable of showing up for it. You know, it's kind of like if you hand somebody, you know, a handful of diamonds, like precious jewels and diamonds, you know, and that person takes that and they just throw it away or they just completely discard it. You're not going to question the value of the diamonds, of the jewels. You're going to wonder why the hell that person threw away something so valuable. And I think so much of the time when somebody mistreats us, we look at it as a reflection of our worth and our value, when in reality it's a reflection of how much they value themselves enough to value something so valuable. And I think that it's hard sometimes to see things that way, but I feel like there's a need for you to shift your perspective on this connection a little bit and what's going on here, because it's almost like, especially because I pulled the sun in reverse. I feel like that, yeah, it's like there's been so much disappointment from this person of them like not showing up and not choosing you and not being there for you and not making decisions that align with what it is that you deserve. And I feel like it has you really questioning like whether or not you are worthy and deserving of that, like we already talked about, but also whether or not you can have it. Because I feel like, especially if you see something with so much potential, it's like, well, you know, if this is as good as I've ever felt before and I can't make this work no matter how hard I try, or I can't, you know, get this person to see my worth and my value, then I'm maybe never going to have anything as good, or I'm never going to experience something as this, you know, as good as this could be. And I think that has you, it's like this connection is triggering you in some really, really deep ways that go below kind of just the surface. And I feel like that's intentional. I feel like this, and it goes back to like, it is for the higher good. I feel like this connection is pulling you into recognizing some deeper things that, I don't know, I feel were it's like it needed to be brought to the surface for a while. I don't know. There's something here. I started this reading, I think like 8 different times, and I couldn't get through my intro, which is so interesting because I do it. I mean, every single day before every single reading, I say the exact same thing. It kind of gets me in the zone. But when I was starting Scorpio, this reading for you guys, like I could just not, it's like I was fighting this resistance, and I almost feel like there are certain things about like this connection, or like certain things that you're not wanting to face or not wanting me to see, or certain truths that you're wanting to stay hidden. I don't know what it is, but it's almost like, yeah, there's like this resistance here that even now, like as I'm pulling cards, it's like I'm having to fight through in a way. It's interesting. It happens sometimes when I do readings. I don't feel it often, but I do feel it sometimes. And usually there are always some, we always like talk about deeper things in those readings, I feel like. And sometimes it's just not fun to get deep, even if it's not a bad thing necessarily. But let's look at this person's energy toward you. Manipulation with romance. This person's energy towards Scorpio. It's like they promised you like the world and then took it away. It's like they gave you all of this love and all of this hope and all of this excitement, and then they have this tendency of removing that. And I don't know where it's coming from. This person's energy toward you. I mean, right out of the gate. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. It's obvious that there's a lot of undervaluing here. It's like, oh, that's so interesting. Okay, this person's energy toward you. It's like they undervalue their own presence in your life. It's like they're not able to see that they're valuable, like to believe that you love them and care about them and value it. So that's why I feel like they withdraw. Okay, hang on. Let me keep pulling. This person's energy towards Scorpio. 5 of Swords. But it comes off as if they're not valuing you. But it's like they're actually not valuing themselves here. King of Pentacles in reverse. So it could be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. You don't have to be by any means. Because I read this as a different way too. But then you also have this Page of Wands. This person's energy towards Scorpio. One more here. It comes off as manipulative. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. I mean, and then there you are in the back here. It's like they don't want to lose this connection, even if it feels, they already have, because the connection is in separation. But that is not what their actions portray at all. So it's obvious here that there's a lot of undervaluing the connection and the value that it provides in their life, not coming from this place of like you not being valuable or it being about you at all. I feel like this person is coming from this place of keeping themselves at a distance from pretty much everyone and everything. Like, especially with this 5 of Swords here. I feel like they have major walls up. I feel like they don't let anybody in. And I feel like because of that, they're not able to meet you at the depth of your value. So you have so much to offer and so much to provide, right? And relationships and, to this person. But it's almost like they're not open to allowing you to do that. It's like their heart is so closed off to love and the depth of love that you have to provide that it's like no matter how hard you tried to love them and to give them all of this time and energy, it's like they're sitting there going, and like pushing it away, not because it's you, but because of themselves. Here with the Page of Wands, I feel like this person carries a lot of inner child wounding. It feels like they've, seen, it's like they're only familiar with surface level relationships, especially with the King of Pentacles in reverse. It's like they're used to just very surface level connections. And this connection went a lot deeper than that. I feel like both of you recognize that, but it's something that this person didn't know how to handle or like what to do with that. So it feels like instead of like valuing it for all that it had to provide, it's almost as if they like pushed it away altogether. And I feel like that happened in a very like yo-yo way. It feels like there are times where they really, desired everything that this had to provide. And I feel like they still do, but it's almost like that depth of the connection makes them so uncomfortable that as soon as things start to get deeper, they withdraw completely. It's just easier for them to have that wall up. And it's interesting because especially with the Hierophant in reverse, there's this need for them to see things, and there's a need for this person to have a wake-up call, because I feel like, it's almost as if they're not aware of the way or the extent that their actions affect other people. Because if somebody undervalues themselves, they're gonna undervalue other people. It's just how it goes. If some people can only love and value others to the extent that they love and value themselves. And when somebody struggles to value themselves, they're not like I said, they're not going to value other people. And I think that that's what a lot of this is asking you to look at, especially because coming back to the Sun in reverse, I do feel like this person is very driven by ego. Their ego has a tendency to make decisions from a place of trying to protect itself. And our ego, it's not to be demonized. I talk about this a lot on this channel, but its primary goal is survival. It's to keep us alive. It's to keep us in spaces that it knows that it can survive. Your ego becomes an issue when it makes all the decisions for you unconsciously, like when you're just allowing your ego to make decisions for you. And I feel like this person allows themselves to make decisions from ego because they are, first of all, there's a lack of consciousness here. Like there's a lack of awareness, like self-awareness, emotional awareness. I feel like this person is living in a very unconscious reality, which means that they are just reacting to everything that happens to them. There's no like awareness or really like thinking through or analyzing their decisions. It's kind of just like doing things from unhealed places. And that is unfortunately that's not your fault or your burden to bear, but it is definitely like that, the whole thing of like hurt people. I feel like that's where this person is really coming from. It feels like they carry so much unhealed wounding with them that they have a tendency to take it out on other people, not necessarily intentionally. And this is why I said I didn't feel like this person was a bad person. I don't feel like they're trying to hurt you. I don't feel like they had the intention of hurting you or like doing anything specifically like intentionally. I feel like they did it because it's what they know. When other people are mistreated or are, not loved well, they're not going to love well because they don't know how to. And I feel like in this specific situation, and here's what's important, and why I feel like Spirit is trying to bring this forth to you is because it's trying to help you understand that this person's inconsistency, their lack of commitment, them not choosing you and valuing you literally has nothing to do with you. And why I think that that's important is because it's important for you to separate their decisions and the things that they did and didn't do from your value and your worth, and understand that you could put anybody in this connection with this person, and I feel like they're going to do a lot of the same things, keep things at a distance, keep things surface level, and it's just because they don't know how to experience that depth or to value themselves enough to do the work to go deeper. And I think that that's where things get really confusing for you, understandably so. But I also feel like that is a huge path to healing for you, because instead of asking like, why didn't they choose me, or why didn't they love me well or value me or whatever, you can start asking yourself the question of like, what was the purpose of this connection? Like, why was this attracted into my life? What is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? Because other people are always a mirror of our relationship with ourselves. And when other people aren't choosing us, valuing us, loving us in the way that we deserve, it's typically an indication that of us experiencing an invitation to love ourselves, value ourselves, and choose us in a way that that we deserve. And it's not to like blame you or say that this is your fault, because it's absolutely not. It's not your fault that this person is unhealed and that they're acting from an unhealed place. It's not your fault that this person doesn't know how to experience depth and connections. And I think that that's why you're needing to separate this whole experience of like what happened here from it being anything to do with you. Now, that doesn't make it okay, right? But if you look at it, and this is where like empathy I think is really important, is you look at it from this place of, that's really sad. Like this person, if they don't do the work, if they don't learn to love themselves, to value themselves more, they're never going to get to experience all of the wonderful energy that you have to give. And that is their loss. Now, obviously that doesn't like help. It doesn't hurt any less, but it can certainly help you separate and separate their actions from your worth. And that can certainly help with the healing. So I feel like Spirit is really wanting you to understand things in a different way, to understand that, this person, and honestly, the word narcissist is really thrown around on this channel a lot. And I don't necessarily love using that word because I do feel like it's very overused. And I'm not here to diagnose anybody, but what I've learned about just narcissistic traits is, and I do feel like that's kind of what this person is, basically it's a lack of empathy. It's them making decisions from a place of selfishness and from a place of not taking into consideration other people's, feelings. And I feel like why this is so important for you to understand, or what I've learned about why people do that, is it's because it's an absence of a sense of self. When somebody doesn't honor their own experience, their own emotional world, when somebody doesn't know who they are, they're going to, not make decisions that are in alignment with their highest good. They're not going to make logical decisions. They're going to make decisions from a place of what is going to protect me and keep me in control the most, what's going to validate me the most, what's going to make me feel best about myself regardless of how other people are impacted. And when that's the case, and when people are making decisions from that place, it is purely survival. It's not from a place of trying to hurt others. It's from a place of, I have been hurt before and I have so many unhealed wounds that I carry with me that the only way I know how to survive is by doing these things. And so I think that that's where it's really important for you to understand that there is a lot more to the story than just them doing the things that they did to you, or, experiencing these things from in your shoes, like knowing that this didn't have anything to do with you. But also, always looking at how can this help me learn, grow, heal, and evolve, love myself more so that I don't attract connections like this in the future. Because we either attract connections that reflect our need for healing, or we attract connections that reflect our healing. And a lot of times, some of the most painful connections come around in our life to help us heal. And I know that it's hard to see things that way, especially when you've kind of been screwed over. But I do feel like looking at things from that perspective can really help you on this journey of taking your power back, because this person doesn't deserve to be the one that determines your value and your worth, right? Somebody not choosing you or loving you or valuing you is no indication of your value or your worth. It's an indication of where they're at on their journey. And again, when we can separate that, we open up a path for our own healing. But we're going to go into this deeper. You have ego with redacted. I'm going to dive deeper into this, looking at the deeper purpose and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Scorpio, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. Bye, Scorpio.